हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग। आपका बहुत फिर से स्वागत है मेरा एक बार नए सीरीज़ में क्लास 10 की पॉलिटिक्स में। इसमें हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे पहला चैप्टर, का नाम है पावर शेयरिंग। इसमें हम लोग पढ़ेंगे एग्जीक्यूटिव, जुडिशरी और एक्जीक्यूटिव की तीनों पावर सेपरेशन के बारे में। आइए स्टार्ट करते हैं बिना किसी देरी के। बेल्जियम एंड श्रीलंका। बेल्जियम इज स्मॉल कंट्री इन यूरोप दैट इज स्मॉलर इन एरिया इन द स्टेट ऑफ हरियाणा. It has borders with France, then the Netherlands, Germany, and the Luxembourg. It has a population of a little over 1 crore. About half the population of Haryana. The ethnic composition of a smaller country is very complex. Of the country's total population, 59% lives in the Flemish region and speaks Dutch language, and another 40% of the people live in the Wallonian region and speak French. So remaining 1% of the Belgians speak German. In the capital city Brussels, 80% of the people speak French, while 20% are Dutch speaking. The minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. This was represented by Dutch speaking community, who got the benefit of economic development and education and much later. This led to the tension between the Dutch-speaking and French-speaking communities during the 1950s and 1960s. Tension between the two communities was more acute in the Brussels is presented in a special problem. Dutch-speaking people constitute a majority of the country, but a minority in the capital. Let us compare this to situation in the other country. Sri Lanka is an island nation. Just a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. It is about 2 crores of people, about the same in Haryana. Like other nations in South Asia region, Sri Lanka has a diverse population. The major social groups are the Sinhala speakers 74%, Tamil speakers 18%. Among Tamils, there are the two subgroups: Tamil natives of the country and the native country are called Sri Lankan Tamils, 13%. The rest, whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during the colonial period, are called Indian Tamils. As you can see from the map, Sri Lankan Tamils are concentrated in the north and east of the country. Most of the Sinhala speaking people are Buddhist, while most of Tamils are the Hindus, Muslims, and there are about 7% of the Christians who are got both Tamils and Sinhala. Just imagine that what could happen in a situation like this. Belgium, the Dutch community could take advantage of this numeric majority and force it below the French and the German speaking population. This would push the conflict among the communities further. This could lead to a very messy partition of the country. Both sides would claim control over themselves. In Sri Lanka, whatever the Sinhal community enjoyed its even bigger majority and could impose it will on the entire country. Now let us look at what happened in both these countries. Majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. The leaders of the Sinhal community sought to secure dominance over the government by virtue of their majority. As a result, the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhal supremacy. In 1956, what happened? An act was passed to recognize the Sinhal was the only official to recognize, thus disregarding the Tamil. The governments allowed preferential policies that favored Sinhal applicants for university positions and government jobs. Any constitution stipulated by the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. All these governments measures coming after the border. After the other gradually increases the feeling of the alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. They felt that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Sinhal's leader was sensitive to their languages and cultures. They felt that the constitution and between the Sinhal and Tamil communities trained over time. The Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language, for regional autonomy and the equality of the opportunity in securing education and jobs, but their demand for more autonomy to provinces populated by the Tamils was repeatedly denied. By 1980s, several political organizations was formed demanding independent Tamilam state as the northern and the eastern parts of Sri Lanka. The distrust between the communities turned into a widespread conflict. It soon divided into a civil war. As a result, thousands of people of both the communities have been killed. Many families were forced to leave the country as refugees. Many were lost their livelihood. So about Sri Lanka's excellent record of economic development, education and health, but the civil war has caused a terrible setback of social, cultural and economic life of the country. It ended in 2009. Accommodation in Belgium. The Belgian leaders took a different path. They recognized the existence of regional differences and cultural diversities. Between 1970 and 1993, they amended the constitution 4 times. So for work and arrangement, they could enable everyone to live together within the same country. The arrangement they work out the difference from any other country is very innovative. Here are some of the elements of Belgian model. Constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and the French speaking ministers shall be equal to the central government, and some special laws required to support of the majority of members from each linguistic group. What is civil war means? Civil war means a violent conflict between the opposing, perhaps within the country, that becomes so intense that it appears like a war, and thus no single community can make decisions unilaterally. The many powers of the central government have been given to the state governments in the two regions of the country. The state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Brussels has a separate government in which both the communities have the equal representation. The French-speaking people accepted equal representation in Brussels because the Dutch-speaking community has accepted the equal representation to central government. Now, apart from central and the state government, there is a third kind of government known as community government. It is elected by the people belonging to the one language community, Dutch, French, and German speaking. No matter where they live, this government has the power regarding cultural, education, and language related issues. You might find that Belgian model very complicated. It needed is very complicated. You can see even the people living in the Belgium, but these arrangements have worked well so far. They help to do avoid civic strife between the two major communities and the possible division of a country on linguistic basis lines. When many countries of Europe came together to form a European Union, Brussels has chosen at its headquarters. What to do? Learn from these two stories of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Both are democracies, yet that feel that they dealt with the questions of power sharing differently. In Belgium, what happened? The leaders have realized that the unity of the country is possible only by respecting the feelings and interests of different communities. Reasons such a realization resulted in mutually acceptable arrangement for sharing power. Sri Lanka shows as a contrast example. It shows that if a majority community wants to force its dominance over others and refuses to share power, it can undermine the unity of the country. Here is a cartoon. It's saying that there are two sharing of the same vehicle. Like the why power sharing is desirable. Thus, two different sets of reasons can be given in favor of power sharing. Firstly, power sharing goes because it helps to reduce the possibility of conflict between conflict often leads to the violence and political instability. Power sharing is a good way to ensure that stability of political order, and imposing the will of majority community over others may look like an attractive option in the short run, and in the long run it undermines the unity of the nation. Tyranny of the majority is not just oppressive the minority; it often brings ruin to the majority as well. This is second deeper reason why people power sharing good for democracy. The power sharing is the very spirit of a democracy. A democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by its exercises. Who have to live with its effects. People have a right to consultate on how they are to be governed. A legitimate government is one over where citizens through participation acquire a stake in the system. Let us call the first set of reasons prudential and the second moral. While the prudential reasons stress that power sharing will bring out the better outcomes, and moral reasons emphasizes that the very act of power sharing is valuable. Presidential, but this prudential based on prudence or on careful calculation of gains and losses. Prudential decisions are usually contrasted with decisions based purely on the moral considerations. Khalil's dilemma. It is in the city of Beirut, there lived a man called Khalil. His parents came from different communities. His father was an Orthodox Christian and mother was a Sunni Muslim. So this was not so uncommon in this modern and cosmopolitan city. And the people from various communities that lived in the Lebanon came into the live in the capital Beirut. They lived together, intermingled. They yet fought a better civil war among themselves. One of the Khalil's uncles was killed in that war. At the end of the civil war, Lebanon's leaders came together and agreed to some basic rules to be power sharing among different communities. As per of these rules, the country's president must belong to Maronite sect of the Catholic Christians. The prime minister must be from the Sunni Muslim community. The post of deputy prime minister is fixed for the Orthodox Christian sect, and that of the speaker of the Shias Muslim. Under the aspect, the Christians agreed not to seek French protection, and the Muslim agreed not to seek unification from them with the neighboring state of Syria. When the Christians and Muslims came to this agreement, they were nearly equal in population. Both sides have to continue to respect the agreement. Through now, the Muslims are his clear majority. Khalil does not like the system one bit. He is a popular man and with a political ambition, but under the present system, the top position out of his reach, he does not practice either of his father's or his mother's religion. Does not wish to know by either. He cannot understand why Lebanon can't be like another normal democracy. Just hold an election, allow everyone to contest, and whoever this wins maximum votes becomes the president. So no matter which community he comes from, why can't we do that like in the other democracies of the world? He asks his elders behave in the bloodshed of the civil war. Tell him to the present system of the best guarantee of the peace. The story is not finished yet, but they had reached the TV tower where they stopped every day. Battle wrapped up and quickly posed his customary question to Vikram that if you had the power to rewrite the rules of Lebanon, what would you do? Would you adopt the regular rules followed by the everywhere as Khalil suggested, or issue the old rules, or do something else? Beetle did not forget to remind Vikram to get their basic tact. And if you have an answer in your mind and yet to speak up the mobile, and then your mobile will freeze, and so will you. So can you help people in Vikram asking yes, forms of power sharing? The idea of power sharing has emerged in proposition of the notions of undivided political power. For a long time, it was unbelieved that the all power of a government must reside in a person or group of persons located at one place. It was felt that if the powers to decide a widespread, it would not possible to take quick decisions and to enforce them. But these notions have changed with the Emergence of democracy. One basic response of democracy is that people are the source all the democratic political power in democratic. What happens that people rule themselves through institution of self-government in a good democratic government, but due to revealing the diverse groups and views that exist in democracy society, everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policies. Therefore, it follows that in a democracy, political power should be distributed among as many citizens possible. In modern democracies, the power sharing arrangements can take many forms. Let us to get some of the most common arguments will come across. Power is shared among different organs of government. Different organs of government, such as legislature, executive, judiciary. Let us call the horizontal distribution of power because it allows different organs of the government placed in the same level to exercise different powers. Such a separation ensures that none of the organs can be exercise unlimited power. Each organ checks the another's. A result in a balance of power by this institution. Last year we studied that in democracy, even though ministers and democracies official exercise power, they are responsible to parliament or state assemblies. Similarly, the IAS judges appointed by the executive, they can check the functioning of executive of the laws made by the legislatures. These arrangements are called a system of checks and balances. Power can be shared among governments and at different levels. A general government for the entire country and governments at the provincial or regional level. Such a general government for the entire country is usually called federal government. In India, we refer to the central or union government. The government at the provincial or regional levels is called by the different names in different countries. In India, we call them to the state governments. This system is not followed in all countries. There are many countries where the no provincial or state government. But in those countries like ours, where there is a different level of government, the constitution clearly lays down the powers of different levels of government. That was submitted in Belgium, but was refused in Sri Lanka. This is called federal division of the power. The same principle can be extended to the levels of government. The level of government lower than the state government, such as the municipality and the panchayat. That is called division of power involving higher and lower levels of government. Vertical division of power we shall study. So power may also be shared among the different social groups, such as the religion and linguistic groups. Community government is Belgium is a good example of arrangement. In such countries, the constitutional legal arrangement where a social weaker section or women are represented by the legislature. Last year we studied system of reverse constituency in the families at the parliament of a country. So this type of arrangement is meant to give space in the government of administration to diverse social groups and who otherwise would feel alienated from the government, and this method is used to give minority communities to fair share in the power. In its second, we shall look at various ways. Power sharing arrangements can also be seen in many ways. Political parties, special groups, movements. So control or influence those in power. In democracy, what happens? Citizens must have freedom for power. In contemporary democracy, this takes a form of competition among the different parties. Such competition ensures that power does not remain in the one hand. In the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies. Social groups, sometimes that kind of sharing can be direct, where two or more parties can form alliance to contest elections. If their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government. Thus, the share power. Democracy can be filled with different interest groups, such as those of traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, industrial workers. They also will have a share in the government power, either through the participation in government, community committee, or bringing the influence on the decision making process. In the unit third, we shall study the working of political parties and pressure groups and social movements. And I think this chapter is completed. It was a very short chapter, and next chapter will be very long. So I think it's time to complete. So thank you for, if you like my video, please like, share, and comment, subscribe my channel, and please share as much as possible. Thank you so much. Center-state relations. Reconstructing the center-state relation is more and more ways to federalism has been extended in practice. How the constitutional arrangement of sharing power works really deposits. It depends on to a large extent of how the ruling parties and leaders follow these arrangements. For a long time, the same party ruled both at the center and the most of the states. This means that the state government did not exercise these rights at autonomous federal units. As and when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties that ruled at the center tried to undermine the powers of the state. In those days, central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss state government. There was control for the rival parties. The undermined the spirit of the federalism. All this changed significantly. In 1990, the period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country. This was also the beginning of the era of coalition government. Center, since we know single party got a clear majority in Lok Sabha, the major national parties has to enter into alliance with many parties, including several regional parties from a government to center. This led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for autonomy. State government this trend was the supported by the major judgment of the difficult of central government to dismiss the state government as in arbitrary manner. This federal power sharing is more effective today than it was early or was after the constitution came into force. The linguistic government data. So we written over here some things. Decentralization in India. We noted about the federal governments. We have two or more tiers of government. We have so far discussed the two tiers of government in our country, but a vast country like India cannot be done only through these two tiers. States in India are as long as independent countries in Europe, and in terms of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is bigger than as Germany. Many of the states are generally internally very diverse. There is a need for power sharing within these states. Federal power of sharing India needs another rise of government below that of state government. This is rational for the decentralization of power. Thus, result the third tier of the government called local government. When power is taken away from the central state governments and given to local government, it is called a decentralization. The basic idea behind a decentralization is that there is a large number of problems and issues which are the best settled at the local level. People have better knowledge of problems in their localities. These also have the better ideas to where to spend money and how to manage these things more efficiently. Besides the local level, it is very possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making. This helps to indicate the habit of democratic participation. Local government is the best way to realize one important principle of democracy, namely local self-government. The need for decentralization was recognized in the constitution. Since then, there have been several attempts to decentralize power to the level of villages and towns. Panchayats in the villages and municipalities in urban areas were set up in all the states, but these are directly under the control of the state government. Elections go to the local governments were not held regularly. Local government did not have any powers to the resource of their own, thus there was a very little decentralization effective. The major step towards decentralization was taken in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the third year of the democracy more effective. Now it is constitutionally mandated to hold regular election to local government bodies. Seats are reserved for elected bodies and executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and other backward classes. At least one third of all positions are reserved for women. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created each other state to conduct the panchayat and municipal elections. The state government are required to share some powers and revenue with the local government bodies. The nature of sharing varies with from state to state. Rural local government is popularly known by the name of Panchayati Raj. Each village or group of villages in some state has a Gram Panchayat. This is a council of consisting of several ward members, often called Panch, and the president of Sarpanch. There is all directly elected by the all adult population given in the ward of village. It is a decision-making body for the entire village. The panchayat works under the overall supervision of the Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year and approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. The local government structure goes right up the district level. A few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form which is usually called a Panchayat Samiti or a block or mandal. The members of this representative body are elected by all the Panchayat members in that area. All the Panchayat Samitis or mandals in the district together constitute a Jila District Parishad. Most members of Jila Parishad are elected and members of Lok Sabha and MLAs are of the district or some official of the other district level bodies are also its members. Jila Parishad the chairperson is the political head of the Jila Parishad. Similarly, local government bodies exist of the urban areas as well. Municipalities are set up towards towns. Big cities are considered into the municipal corporation. Both municipalities and municipal corporation are controlled by elected bodies consisting of people's representatives. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In the municipal corporation, such as officer is called the mayor. Prime Minister runs the country. Chief Minister runs the state. Logically, the chairperson of the Jila Parishad should run the district. No, the district we have discussed later and we start the district. The experiment of Brazil. City called Porto Alegre carried out the extraordinary experiment combining decentralization with participating democracy. The city was set up as a parallel organization operating along with the municipal council and every local inhabitants secretly led decision of the city. Here, 13 lakh of the city helped to participate in making the budget of our own city. The city is divided into the many sectors and we called wards. Every sector was meeting and like the Gram Sabha and people living in the city participate. There are some meetings to discuss the entire city. Any citizen of the city can participate in this meeting. The budget of the city is discussed over the meeting. The proposals are put to the municipality take a final decision about it, and about 20,000 people participate in the decision-making experiences every year. Exercises method has been inserted, and the money cannot be spent on the benefit of the colonies which people live. Buses now run to the poor colonies. The builders cannot evict some dwellers without deserting them. In our own country, a similar experiment has taken place in some areas in Kerala. Ordinary people have participated in making a plan for development of the locality. Thus, the system of local government is the largest experiment in democracy connected anywhere in the world. This is now about 36 lakh elected paper representatives in the panchayats and municipality sector all over the country. The number is bigger than the population of many countries in the world. Constitutional status for local governments helps us to deepen the democracy of our country. It has also increased women's representation and voice in our democracy. At the same time, there are many of difficulties. The by-elections are held regularly and the enthusiastically Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. Most state government have not transferred significantly powers by the local government, nor have they have given adequate resources. We are still a long way for realizing the idea of self-government. Then now chapter is complete right now, and thank you for seeing this video. Thank you so much and have a nice day.